The following presentation is brought to you as a courtesy from Forex Academy. This is part of our service, Psychology Trading. If you find it interesting and wish to be updated on new releases, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or join our community at forex.academy and receive all our services for free. Your like is also highly appreciated. Enjoy.
Hello and greetings, Forex Academy subscribers. This video is going to be over, well, actually, it's a video series. We're going to be going over trading psychology and methodology. And first, I think it's really important to go through just kind of a short little introduction into what we'll be talking about and how important this is. And this is a topic that a lot of people new to trading just skip over because they just want to learn, okay, how do I make 10% a day, or how do I double my money in one trade? People are only interested in learning the technical components of trading, which is extremely important, but nothing is more important than the pain and the loss and the psychological component of trading, because pain and loss is why you lose money. All right? It is the cause for 90% of your losses. Because trading, it is 90% emotional and psychological and 10% on analysis and planning. And so one of the greatest problems we ever face as traders is one that we rarely ever talk about, and it's our emotional response to loss. It's extremely important and natural for us to not want to discuss this. All right, loss is something that we learn about from a young age as we develop and grow into adults. So certain unconscious and subconscious reactions that begin at the development age and continue through adulthood, they're just a part of us. We don't even realize that when we're in a situation where we even perceive a crisis, we may not even know that it may be a crisis, but we react. We're unwitting slaves to these very powerful defense mechanisms that our brain protects us from. And it's an irony that as traders, one of our greatest defenses as human beings is our greatest enemy to making money. If you've ever had any therapy before, some of what I'm going to talk about is probably familiar. If you've ever had therapy before, you're going to be light years ahead of your peers, and you're going to be light years ahead of anybody new to trading as far as your trading goes. That's because when we bring up things like feelings, people tend to mock or ignore it and walk away from it. As traders, though, it is very, very dangerous to do that. You cannot walk away and not discuss your feelings and emotions when we're trading. It's important to know yourself. I'm not talking about changing your reaction to fear and anxiety and crisis. I'm not saying that you have to not do that. It's important to know about what your own insecurities are, your fears, your feelings, your thoughts and perceptions of yourself. Because when you're in a loss, when you're in a losing trade, the thoughts that go through your mind, the self-critical, self-put-down kind of language you do that you may not even realize, it's important that you become aware of those. And so you need to know you. You can have an IQ of 1,000,000, but if your emotional IQ is only 20, you will always fail. And you need to know that. It's easy to say to yourself, oh, I know how I react when I have a losing position, or I know I was upset when I should have just taken the loss and not moved my stop, or I know that when I was frustrated, when I took profit early and then I watched the price move, I tried to chase it only to get stopped out again. Recognizing your reactions is the easy part. It's easy to go back in time and see what you did to lose money. It's more important to know what's happening in the now so that doesn't happen. So the hard part is recognizing the part between the triggering event and your reaction. And that's where our thoughts and feelings come into play. So we need to know that Pain is inevitable. It's extremely important. We either avoid it or address it. Crisis is very common. Self-defense kicks in when we're in a crisis, and we become autonomous, okay? When you're a little kid, the first time you put your hand on a hot surface, it hurts, and you don't do that again, right? You don't touch the... We know right away after one time of touching a hot surface, we don't even need to touch it to know that we could get hurt. We just recognize that there is something there that I know is going to burn me if I touch it. Okay, we don't have to actually go to the source of stimulation to touch it. We just have to know that it is there, and we avoid it. That makes trading very difficult because we respond to psychological pain just like we do physical pain. We learn how to either address it or avoid it. And we need to know that trading is not normal. Trading is not a psychologically normal human activity. It is the antithesis of human behavior. Because if you think about it, if you really think about it, to become successful as a trader, you must put yourself into a situation that will bring pain, suffering, and loss. And that is the normal part of your job as a trader. You are actively competing against the most powerful forces in your body, the unconscious and subconscious mind. You're quite literally fighting against yourself. And most of the time, the result is a failed trader. You get beat by you. So we're going to talk about how to stop this invisible force that seeks to protect you at the expense of financial disaster. You can't beat it. We're going to learn that. You can't beat it. And that's important to know. In fact, you don't want to stop that kind of reaction and those normal defenses. Knowing that you have no control over something is often a good relief. This is kind of like the first step of Alcoholics Anonymous, where you have to admit to having no control over your unconscious and subconscious reactions. That's step one. When you admit that you are not in control of years of internal defense mechanisms that are totally normal and natural, it stops becoming a demon inside of you, okay? The things that are causing you to lose money, the normal reactions you're having to fear, loss, pain, panic, and anxiety, those no longer become these like internal scary demons. They're more like a scary monster under the bed. Still freaky, but at least it's not a big ugly demon. And so ultimately, our goal here is to change our reaction from thinking things are scary demons to just a monster that we need to recognize. And that'll conclude this video. Thank you for watching.